Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all doing well and enjoying your day, feeling good, feeling beautiful, feeling blessed. Sorry, I'm just like in a really good space mentally right now. So I just want to share all of the love to you guys and just wish you well and hope you guys are all doing well. Thank you for coming back to my channel. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I am going to be doing a hair and makeup tutorial, and I'm showing you guys how I got this look, this hair and makeup. We do have a hair sponsor for today's video. A shout out to Ashimary Hair Company for sponsoring today's video and sending over the wig that I'm going to be installing today. I'm going to leave all of the information for this wig down below in the description box, so if you have any questions about it, definitely check there. The wig that I'm wearing it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. It's a 13x4 lace frontal wig, and it's a deep wave hair texture. It's 32 inches, so she's giving inches, and it's stunning. I love the way that this wig like came out at the end of this look, and it just went perfectly with the makeup and everything. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy the process. I'm using all of the same products as I typically do. Same old, so I'm just gonna let you guys enjoy the process today. I don't know, when I filmed this particular video, I originally filmed it with the intention of doing a like talking through like the video and everything, like the tutorial, and just kind of giving you guys a life update and everything like that. But as I was like filming the video, one of my neighbors decided to blast their music very loud. You know, it was all up in my audio and it wasn't sounding good, and it wasn't up to my satisfaction. So I ended up just kind of like saying, forget it, I'm just gonna go ahead and do a voiceover for this video, because it seems like talking through it wasn't the vibe. It was like much like later in the evening than I typically film, so I partially blame myself, you know, for that, because I usually typically like to film like towards like the beginning of the day, early afternoon, late morning, when it's more quiet and like just in general. Like I mentioned before, I went into this video with the intention of just talking through it and everything and giving you guys a life update, catching up, kind of doing a chit chat type of situation and everything, and you know, kind of giving you guys like a little update of what's been going on with me and stuff. So I would still want to do that, you know, I still want to do that. So I'm not going to go too much into detail about like the process and everything like that, like for this hair install and for the makeup and everything. I'll just let you guys like enjoy like the process visually, and that way I get to talk to you guys and, you know, give you guys, you know, some details about what's been going on with me, because I feel like it's important that I, you know, make the effort to like connect with you guys, because you guys make the effort to come back to my channel and watch my videos. So as I'm recording this voiceover, Chicago is going wild, guys. Like the weather in Chicago is going wild. We had a tornado watch actually happen earlier in the afternoon. Like we got like a notice that there was like a tornado watch happening, and you know that we're gonna get some crazy weather coming in. It's just really weird that we're having like this like notice of like really crazy weather, because today the weather was kind of awesome. I mean, besides like all of the rain and stuff like that, it was much warmer than it typically is. We were like in the 30s, 40s, like temperature wise, and today was like a good 60, which was nice. So, but yeah, tomorrow it's supposed to snow, which is wild. So yeah, I guess I'm mentioning all of this because your girl's still getting used to like the change in weather here. It's very all over the place, and I'm still getting used to it. So anytime there's like a weather change, I'm just like in awe. But yeah, just thought I'd share. But anyways, yeah, it's Friday night. I'm sipping on my glass of wine here. Today was a really good day. It was also very emotional. But in a good way. Like, I think today really reminded me how much sometimes I take for granted. I can't even lie. I take for granted like the privilege that I have of like being able to just be a content creator and be creative and, you know, live off of it. I feel like today was like a really great reminder for me that, you know, there is so much to be grateful for. and so many blessings that are going on in my life that, you know, sometimes I can't lie, I really take for granted. I'm very grateful for today, because it just I think sometimes we need those reminders, you know, to remain in a state of gratitude, because life is just very like, it can literally change at the snap of a finger. I think like I definitely learned that particular lesson, like, and it hit me the hardest when my mom passed away last year. This is something I haven't, it's something that I haven't shared like with anyone, like through social media and stuff, just with like the people, you know, that I know like personally, like in my like personal space and stuff like that. But yeah, my mom, she passed away last year towards the beginning of 2022. And it's one of the reasons why I remember mentioning in a previous video that last year was like an incredibly difficult year for me. And that was like the peak reason why I was just kind of like going through all of that and trying to navigate the grief, even to this day, still trying to navigate it, because it's such a wild like roller coaster of like emotions. I will say that, you know, experiencing her passing definitely reminded me of like all like the many things in my life to be grateful for. And I think it definitely pushed me to continue to be in a state of gratitude no matter like what's going on in my life. Like, it's okay to obviously feel your feelings, you know, when you are going through hard times, and it's okay to be angry, it's okay to be sad. But I also think that, you know, because we're human beings, we can feel those things and also at the same time experience and make sure we are continuing to practice gratitude as well in the same breath. And I think that's one of the privileges of being a human being and being this, you know, complex creature on the earth, is that we have like, we're able to experience several feelings all in one time. As chaotic as it can be sometimes, it's also one of the things that I have learned that's really fascinating, is just about being a human being on this planet. But yes, gratitude, definitely something that I have been thinking quite heavily about and practicing often. I've been in a routine of like writing down things that I'm grateful for, like in the morning when I wake up. But I think now more than ever, I think it's just super important for me to remain in that state and to be in that state. But yeah, it's something that's been, I know it's been weighing like heavily like on my spirit these days, and I just thought I'd, you know, share that, because it's definitely something that has helped me tremendously even through like my darkest times, is remembering that there's still something to be grateful for. There's still something to look forward to. Speaking of looking forward to, there is a new episode of one of my favorite podcasts that is just hit my phone earlier today as well. One of the things that I have been really enjoying these days is podcasts, which is funny because as I'm doing this voiceover, it makes me feel like maybe I need to get into podcasting, because I don't know, like I feel like it's so much easier for me to talk and to express myself when I'm not having to worry about there being a camera in front of my face. Like as I'm like sitting here just like talking through my mic and everything, like I feel so much more at ease speaking versus like being in front of a camera and trying to speak, and then also multitasking, you know, doing makeup as well. Maybe I need to get into podcasting. But yeah, I've been really enjoying podcasts. It could be like a millennial thing, you know, at my big age of like 30, which is another thing that's happened, you know, recently. I turned 30 this past December. Yay! I was really excited about this age, and I've been enjoying it. Maybe I'll talk about that in my next video and stuff, just being 30 and like what I like about, you know, being this particular age, because it's definitely an age that I looked forward to for a really long time. I think as soon as I turned 25, I was like, oh man, let's turn 30, yay! The train to 30 is here, let's go! And just being super excited about it. But yeah, one thing that I've been super enjoying these days as well is just podcasts, like listening to podcasts. Yeah, The Read is definitely one of my favorite podcasts right now. If you guys have not listened to The Read, you really need to go and listen to it. It's amazing. I think that Kid Fury and Crystal are the two I guess hosts. Or is it hosts of the show? I think that's what they would be considered. I do believe that their podcast just recently won an NAACP Image Award. I could be wrong, but I know that they were nominated for one. And I was super excited for them because their podcast is just amazing, and I've been listening to it for several years now. But yeah, it's my favorite. It's one of my favorites. It's definitely like a toss-up between The Read and J.Ill, the podcast, is like one of my favorites. But yeah, the new episode just hit my phone. A little update just hit my phone earlier today, so I'm definitely going to be listening to that later. I feel like I got a notification about it earlier this morning when I was at the gym, and I got like super excited, and I really wanted to listen to it like as I was getting like dressed and ready for the day, you know, earlier this morning. But I was like, I ended up managing to like just be in a rush, even though like I you know did everything on time. I just ended up leaving my house like on a rush. So I didn't get a chance to like listen to it, but maybe like later today I will. But yeah, so if you haven't listened to The Read, I highly recommend it. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that this particular podcast and, you know, previous videos that I've recorded, but I always feel like good to like, you know, share that particular podcast because it's just so amazing. Crystal and Kid Fury are freaking hilarious, and they're just like solid individuals that I feel like the world needs more of. Another podcast I would recommend is J.Ill, the podcast. It's hosted by none other than Jill Scott herself, and which is super cool. Jill Scott is one of the hosts, as well as Aja Graydon Dantzler. Aja is one of Kindred and the Family Soul. She is one of the singers of that particular group. Her and her husband are like a singing duo. And Elia St. Clair as well is a host. And the three of them, like, these women are amazing. Like, the three of them together just create this fantastic like conversation of just like relevant issues that are going on in today's society. You know, they're all three beautiful Black women that are intelligent and thoughtful and compassionate and just amazing women. And like I really look up to like all three of them, and their stories are amazing. Like Jill alone is just like, you know, amazing in her own right, but Laia and Aja bring also like something incredibly special to the show. I'm a huge fan of Aja. Like, I really hope that I get to meet her one day, because like she's just so, oh my gosh, this woman is so smart and intelligent, and I'm just like, every time I hear her speak, I'm just like, oh, I feel like my ears, I feel like I need to clean my ears before I listen to her, just so I gather like all that she's saying, as much as possible as I can gather, because she's just always speaking like facts, and like the depth of her words are just, oof. She's just like an incredible individual, and she's so cool. And Laia is just like this really sweet person that is also freaking hilarious. Oh my gosh, she's so funny. But yeah, J.Ill, the podcast, a really amazing podcast, and another one of my favorites, and I highly recommend that one as well. Definitely been listening to that one for a few years too. And the podcast that I'm most recently kind of like listening to, like, well, I don't know if I should say recent, but it's definitely like, you know, newer to me, is the Receipts podcast. It's more of like, the Receipts podcast is like the podcast that I go to when I don't want to take life so seriously. like when life is just like lifing and I don't want to take it seriously, like I need a moment of just like, you know, release from the seriousness of life, like I will listen to the Receipts podcast because it's funny. Like, again, 3 really beautiful women, and they're just like so, like, they're also incredibly intelligent, very thoughtful as well, and their dynamic is just so like perfect, and like they have this incredible like energy and, you know, just like friendship between the 3 of them, and like listening to them talk and like banter and, you know, like just converse is just like always a good time. They speak about like current events that are happening as well, but more in relation to like pop culture a lot of the times. And yeah, like it's always like just hearing, it's interesting to hear their thoughts too, because they live in the UK. So hearing like an outside perspective into like what's going on like in the United States is always like fascinating to me. So you always get like this more like a more, I feel like a more nuanced perspective about like, you know, what's, you know, going on like in the United States and stuff. But yeah, another great podcast that I've been loving, and it's just like fun to listen to. Like they do, they have like those particular episodes where they're talking about like current events and stuff, like pop culture and things like that. But they'll also have like episodes where they dive into other people's like issues, like and dilemmas, and it's always like it's just like the way that they answer people's questions and like give advice like always brings like an air of like humor and stuff, and I love how they kind of like infuse that into like their conversation. Like there's always like an air of like humor and just, you know, like fun. It's just fun. So I love listening to them when I just need like a good time and want to laugh and stuff. So yeah, the Receipts podcast, definitely love that one as well. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like other podcasts that I've been listening to, because I know there's another one. The Two My Sisters podcast. How could I almost forget this one? The Two My Sisters podcast. Okay. I'm going to put you guys on game right now. If you are not listening to the Two My Sisters podcast, I need you, as a matter of fact, just pause this video, pause my video and go find them, and then come back to my video, and then we could talk about it. But like this podcast is amazing. It's intelligent, it's thoughtful conversation. It's conversation that is geared towards like the betterment of women. It's just a podcast about, you know, what it really means to be like in sisterhood with other women, and how to be like a good friend, like how to, you know, to love yourself better, how to, you know, love your friends better, how to, you know, elevate yourself as an individual. Like all of this stuff is like infused in this particular podcast, and I just love the fact that it's centered around, you know, sisterhood and, you know, building a community of women, and especially Black women, which I think is, you know, another important like point to say. But yeah, the Two My Sisters podcast, like I remember I found this particular podcast first on YouTube because these 2 women, Renee and Courtney, they do have like a YouTube channel. So make sure to subscribe to their YouTube channel. They have a YouTube channel where they, you know, record their podcasts like for, you know, the visuals like there. And they also have like the audio version of like the YouTube video like on Spotify and like, you know, as a podcast. But yeah, such an amazing podcast. And I love it so much. Let me know if you guys have like checked out any of these like podcasts before, because I'm heavily into like podcasts right now, and these 4 have definitely been like my favorites. So I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts if you have listened to them before, and definitely share your thoughts in like the comments about like which one is your favorite. Even if it's not like any of these podcasts, like, you know, definitely share like what your guys' favorite ones are right now, because I'd love to check in on them and see like, you know, what you guys are listening to now that you know what I've been listening to. I feel like these days I've just been trying to be more like conscious about like what I'm internalizing as far as like content is concerned, and I'm happy with where I'm at right now. I feel like, you know, where I'm at, I'm listening to a lot of like good stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's stuff that's like, you know, I feel like nourishes my soul in a way, like nourishes my spirit and my mind in a way, and in a positive way. And yeah, because I think like this day and age, it's just like so important to be conscious about like what you're listening to, what you're watching, what you're internalizing, because I've noticed that like, especially me, like I like to listen to like music and like podcasts and like things like that really early in the morning, and I can definitely tell like how what I'm listening to can like actually affect me, like in how I move throughout the day. Like it could affect my emotions, which can in turn affect my behavior. So I've been super mindful about like what I'm listening to. But so far, like these 4 like podcasts have been doing me well. I've been trying to find like new music as well, which has been like an interesting like difficult journey. Like always trying to find new music is like, oh gosh. Like, I feel like I've been doing this thing on Spotify as well, where I create like a playlist for each year. So like I have a playlist for 2020, a separate playlist for 2021, a separate one for 2022, and now I have one for 2023. The first one that I did was 2020. So I've been like doing this thing where I like create like a new playlist. So just like think like songs that I really love for that particular year. Because it's always like nice to kind of see like where my mind was at, like, you know, 2 or 3 years ago. You know what I mean? So I've been trying to like, you know, get to building this playlist for 2023. And it's not like, you know, I'm trying to like have like a huge playlist like already. Like it's something that I like just keep adding songs like throughout the year. So like even in, you know, late into 2023, I'll still be adding songs to this playlist. Last year, it was so easy for me to find like new artists and new music and stuff, and like I don't know, I feel like I've just been having such a hard time this year like trying to find like new stuff to listen to. Like I find myself just, you know, going back to old things that I listened to. I love everything and I listen to everything, but I feel like my true loves kind of like stand with R&B, jazz, and like rap music. I feel kind of bad because I didn't talk about any of like the steps for this look, but I feel like that was kind of like the purpose too of this particular like voiceover today, was to just kind of give you guys a little update on like what's been going on with me, and, you know, check in and stuff like that, and just kind of be more intentional about like connecting with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you have any podcast suggestions or like, you know, music that you're really into, that you're listening to right now, like new artists, honestly, it can be from any genre. I don't even care at this point. Like I'm just ready to listen to like new stuff, and I feel like I just need like suggestions and stuff. So any new podcasts, any new music that you guys are loving, definitely like put it down below in the description box, because I'd love to hear what you guys are listening to. Thank you again for watching, guys. I'm sending so much love to you all. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Know that I love you, and sending you all the positive vibes. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to comment and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. And yeah, hopefully I will see you guys in the next one.